WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good afternoon, I'm Sam Dick.
And I'm Andrea Walker. A Madison County Sheriff's deputy is at UK Hospital right now after being shot during a traffic stop. We've been tracking this breaking news all afternoon.
The shooting happened just before 2 o'clock on Arthur Jackson Lane. That's off of US 421 near Berea. Our Victor Puente is live at that scene with the latest on the investigation. Victor?
Well, police tell us they expect to be here through the night as they try to piece together the moments before those shots were fired. We do know a man has been killed and a deputy has been taken to the hospital after he was hit. The shootings happened just before 2 o'clock. State police say a Madison County Sheriff's deputy was making a traffic stop on Arthur Jackson Lane when the driver pulled into his own driveway and got out of the vehicle, running onto the porch. Neighbors tell me they heard someone scream, "Get down," then heard several shots. State police say that deputy and that man both fired shots at each other in the suspect's front yard. The man was killed and the deputy was hit. He was taken to the hospital but is expected to survive.
We're happy that he has non-life-threatening injuries. It's still a very tough situation, and we just have his family in mind.
Police tell us the two other people who were in the vehicle with that suspect are being interviewed at the scene as I speak. They haven't released the names of any of the people involved. Live in Madison County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you. Now, the wounded deputy was rushed by ambulance with a police escort to UK Hospital.
WKYT's Sean Moody is live at UK, where deputies and officers are staying to show their support for their colleague. Sean?
Hey there, Andrea. We've been out here outside the University of Kentucky emergency room since about 3 o'clock. Not long after we got here, we heard the sirens in the distance. It appears the escort for that ambulance came in the rear side of UK Hospital, taking that deputy into the emergency room. Ever since then, there have been police officers from several different agencies in and out of the hospital showing their support. Again, we do understand that that deputy has non-life-threatening injuries. Just about a half hour ago, we saw two Madison County Sheriff's Office cruisers pull into this front entrance. We haven't heard much from inside the hospital, but Kentucky State Police have said the deputy's injuries are believed to be non-life-threatening. Now, of course, unfortunately, this is a situation the Madison County law enforcement family has seen before. It wasn't all that long ago that we were standing out here waiting for word on Richmond police officer Daniel Ellis. Situations like this show you just how close-knit the law enforcement family is, regardless of what agency they're from. They'll be out here supporting each other and making sure the deputy and the family have what they need. Now, I was actually just speaking not long ago with a retired Madison County Sheriff's deputy, and of course, he said it doesn't matter if you're retired or still active, you're still part of this law enforcement family. He wanted me to pass on to people if they have those blue lights that people sometimes have to support police. He wants people to put those out on their front porches in support of this deputy this afternoon into this evening. Live in Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Thank you so much, Sean. And of course, stay with WKYT for the latest on this shooting. You'll also find updates throughout the night on our website, WKYT.com, as well as the WKYT News app.
Burglars targeting more Lexington businesses overnight. This time, Palmer's Tire, Hart's Dry Cleaning, and Brooklyn Pizza were all hit. The businesses are located in the Clays Mill area, and just like previous break-ins, the burglars shattered glass doors and windows to get inside. Yesterday, burglars hit Missy's Pies and the Black Market Boutique. Frightening moments for a Lexington gas station clerk during an overnight robbery. It happened just before midnight at the Marathon gas station on South Broadway. Police say an armed robber ran into the store, demanded money from the clerk, and then moments later, police say the suspect hit the clerk with the gun, claiming she was taking too long. Once the robber got some cash, police say he ran off towards Man o' War Place apartments. Police say the clerk was not injured.
Family and friends said goodbye to a man hit and killed on Interstate 64 today. Police say 66-year-old Stanley Willoughby died after several cars hit him in the eastbound lanes of I-64 near the Fayette-Clark County line early Monday morning. Willoughby's visitation was held this morning at Scobie Funeral Home in Winchester. His funeral followed at 1 o'clock. Willoughby was buried at Winchester Cemetery. Two crashes injured two people in Pulaski County yesterday. The first happened on West Highway 80. The sheriff's office says 73-year-old James McDonald lost control of his pickup, ran off the road, hit a ditch, and rolled on its top. McDonald was flown to UK hospital for his injuries. The second crash happened at West Highway 80 and Lee's Ford Dock Road. Deputies say Pamela Murray turned left in front of another Nissan, causing the Nissan to hit her car. A third car hit the Nissan. Murray was taken to a local hospital for her injuries. Year after year, the number of Kentucky babies born addicted continues to rise. And now there's some new legislation making its way to President Obama's desk to help the smallest victims of the nation's drug epidemic. Kelly Meyer shows us what the bill will do in a story that's new here at 4:30.
I can't think of anybody who is more voiceless than a tiny baby.
As parents, Illinois Congresswoman Sherry Bustos and West Virginia Congressman Evan Jenkins want to see babies of drug-addicted parents have their own chance at life.
I've held a newborn infant that was drug withdrawing. Their bodies shake with tremors. They are sensitive to light and sound, even to touch.
Neonatal abstinence syndrome is when a mother addicted to drugs becomes pregnant and the child is exposed in the womb. So Bustos and Jenkins introduced the Nurturing and Supporting Healthy Babies Act, bipartisan legislation to help babies born with this disease. Bustos and Jenkins aren't just using their congressional powers to help these babies, they're also taking steps in their home districts to make a difference. Jenkins played a part in bringing to life Lily's Place, a recovery center for drug-exposed babies. He says it helped him draft this bill.
I'm wanting to make sure that experience that I had getting Lily's Place started is something we can translate in so others won't have to go through this.
The legislation would improve care for these babies and provide information about the federal obstacles for treating them.
There was no disagreement that we need to address this epidemic that is sweeping the nation. And with Congressman Jenkins and I, we wanted to help the babies.
In Washington, I'm Kelly Meyer.
The Healthy Babies Act is part of the larger piece of opioid legislation recently passed by the House. The House and the Senate will hold their conference on both of the opioid packages, and then whatever comes out of that will be sent to the president's desk. After a string of warm, dry days, we're more likely to see some showers and also some cooler temperatures as we get into the weekend.
Hey, that sounds good. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is here with a check of the forecast.
Yeah, after the past couple of days, guys, we are going to need the cooler air especially, but I understand it's summer. Some folks out there are just eating this kind of weather up. Upper 80s, though, a little toasty for my taste. 88 Lexington, 87 London. Look at northeastern Kentucky. I said yesterday, I thought today would give us a 90 somewhere across the area. There you go. It is in Ashland, northeastern Kentucky. Monticello, not too far behind at 89 degrees. Defender Radar Network thunderstorm, southern parts of the area. That is a strong storm that is just to the east of downtown Williamsburg, heading into parts of the Knox County area. So right along Highway 11 and eventually over into parts of the Pineville and Middlesboro area. That is likely producing some pea-sized hail to the north of the Saxton area. North of the Mountain Parkway, some thunder and some lightning. Frenchburg over to West Liberty. Got a lone shower not too far away from the Toyota plant here into Scott County. That is north of downtown Georgetown. To our west and southwest, thunderstorms across the Nashville, Tennessee area are gathering steam and lifting to the northeast. Then look what we have back to our west and southwest. That front's going to get into Kentucky, kind of put the brakes on, and then that storm system you see spinning across parts of Texas will head our way as we go toward the weekend. And that's going to bring some rounds of thunderstorms right on through at least a part of that weekend, guys. The soggy details when I come back in a few.
All right, thank you, Chris. A big investment debuted today for Kentucky American Water. They held a ribbon-cutting ceremony this morning for their brand new filtration building. The new facility, which will handle a key part of the water treatment process, is replacing a 92-year-old structure.
But really just safety concerns with the building potentially collapsing and old pipes collapsing and just inability to maintain the old building.
The new facility comes with a price tag of $15 million.
It is the last thing they needed. We'll show you how Texans are coping with more flooding after heavy overnight rains.
Get the credit approval you deserve at the all-new Big M Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Nicholasville. If you have a job and $199, you can be approved today. During the Drive and Discover event 2016, Jeep Cherokee's $199 a month. Visit BigMSuperstore.com.
Clients come into the office. The government has said, no, I don't believe you. You're not disabled.
The major problem with Social Security disability is that most people who sign up are denied at the initial level. If your claim's denied, don't give up. Call us immediately. We'll appeal your case.
We can do an effective job of representing you. that will get you the benefits that you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast, 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
Ashley Home Store's best ever Memorial Day sale has been extended one final week. Through Monday only, take $100, $200, $500, up to $1,000 off your purchase. Plus, pay no interest for 12 months. Don't miss store-wide deals like this sectional only $6.99. This best-selling queen storage bed just $7.99. And this plush sofa now $8.99. Or pay 0% interest for 6 full years. No interest until 2022. Don't miss the final week of Memorial Day savings. It absolutely ends Monday. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Greatness isn't about creating one masterpiece and calling it a day. It's about challenging yourself to create a masterpiece every time. Come celebrate a half-century of innovations at the Kawasaki Golden Anniversary Sales Event.
Save up to $2,500 plus 0% financing on select models at participating dealers. Visit Kawasaki.com to find a dealer near you.
Visit JVM Motorsports in Harrodsburg the weekend of June 11th to test drive a new Kawasaki.
Were you or a family member in an accident that resulted in severe injuries or even death? Was your case questionable as to who was at fault or maybe partially at fault? Did you know that the laws of Kentucky afford you and your family compensation against that person or business that is partially at fault? At Spencer Law Group, we strive to go the extra mile in researching and preparing your case for settlement or trial for cases such as yours. We will fight for the compensation that you and your family deserve.
Save thousands at the all-new Big M Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Nicholasville, where you get 25% off MSRP on all the remaining new 2015s in stock. That's up to $14,000 off MSRP. Make the short drive to Big M Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram today.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Looking at a very toasty start to summer. June 1st, the start of summer for the weather community, and that runs obviously through July and August, and we are dealing with, right on cue, summer-like temperatures out there. Live look, Hamburg Pavilion in the distance, WKYT's front yard, and the foreground there, and overcast conditions a little earlier, keeping, though, the temperatures into the upper 80s with some hints of sunshine over the past half hour or so. Winds today coming at us from the southwest. That is a warm and a fairly humid wind. Rounds of thunderstorms are ahead of us on your weather headlines. Some locally heavy rains. Temperatures, though, as we get especially into the weekend and early next week, will take a big-time tumble across central and eastern Kentucky. Right now on your Defender Radar Network, we're going to focus on southern Kentucky. It's allergy season. Sometimes the voice just wants to go. I'm just trying to keep it together. We go into southern Kentucky. Let's show you what we are dealing with here. Get into parts of Whitley County and the Knox County area, especially from Williamsburg to Barberville. A ton of thunder and lightning. Watch the creeks and the streams. Ditches here may try to overflow briefly. That is a slow mover, and had a Twitter report of some pea-sized hail coming out of this little complex of storms earlier. That is heading toward the Barberville area and eventually will cross into parts of Bell County as well. We'll keep an eye on that, and we can see some additional spotty thunderstorms trying to go to the north and northeast of that. Mountain Parkway, showers and thunderstorms. Bluegrass region, not a whole lot. Lexington area and just to our south, though, we're getting in on some spotty action to the north of us, especially from the east side of Harrison County toward Sadyville, Georgetown, and over toward northern parts of Henry County. Watching northwestern Tennessee as well. Whatever is here is going to creep its way to the north, so that may impact parts of Bowling Green, London, Corbin, Somerset, down to Campbellsville as we go through the next few hours. It's a stormy pattern, though, that is back. It's being pushed by cooler air coming in from Canada that is downright chilly into parts of the high plains. 3-day threat track. Over the next 3 days, we're going to get rounds of thunderstorms. Not going to be any one day that is just rain from daylight or daybreak to sunset. But we are going to be noticing those thunderstorms. They can put down some heavy rains tomorrow. We will get more dry hours on Friday than what I expect tomorrow or on Saturday. Right now, Saturday's rain chances appear to be increasing just a bit. Quick look at that evening, hour by hour, with temperatures that will be dropping only toward the 70 to 75 degree range by the time we roll into the evening. Low 80s tomorrow. Once we get past Friday, we're likely to stay in the 70s, and heavy rains a good bit as we go into Saturday and Saturday evening. All told, between now and Monday, don't be surprised if we don't pick up an inch or two of water into many areas.
I'm the race director for a kids triathlon on Sunday. The pressure is on you, my man. I'm depending on you.
Yeah, all right, I'm going to work my magic and get it out of town just in time for the race for you.
Man, you are good. Speaking of weather, neighborhoods in parts of Texas are underwater as more downpours overnight stranded drivers and prompted several water rescues. Flooding concerns will last into the weekend.
Manuel Bohorquez is in the city of Richmond, that's outside of Houston, where the Brazos River is now topping 54 feet. That's even higher than officials thought possible.
Roadways became raging rivers in Texas Tuesday. Floodwaters were strong enough to wash away this car, with the driver getting out moments before it was swept away. Up to 6 inches of rain in parts of the state triggered flash flooding and prompted more than a dozen rescues in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Very scary watching the water just rise so fast.
The fast rising waters left cars submerged and even stranded this fire truck. In the southeast, the Brazos River has reached record highs. The rising river forced a family in Simonton to leave these horses behind.
We stayed as long as we could until they forced us to get out.
On Tuesday, they hired a private helicopter to drop food for the stranded animals. For others, the only way around is by boat. We found Pedro Chavez, whose home is filling with water.
Are you afraid that it's going to flood completely?
A little bit, yeah.
What would that mean for your family?
I mean, kind of start over.
The river is expected to remain above flood stage for the next several days. Despite dry weather now, there is a chance of rain in the forecast every day through Saturday. Manuel Bohorquez, CBS News, Richmond, Texas.
Now, forecasters say even though the Brazos River will recede in the next few days, its levels will remain high for several weeks to come.
Food and cocktails on the menu for tonight's birthday celebration for the state of Kentucky. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at Bell's today.
Having like a breakdown.
I'm sad, obviously. I don't want to be
I just want a cigarette so bad.
I roll my eyes like a lizard. A monkey would envy my tail. My wings want to fly but swim instead. I'm a fish with a horse's head. You can see me in all my glory. Touch me and learn my story. In a world of wonder you'll explore. I'm a seahorse and so much more.
Discover the zany world of seahorses at the most interactive seahorse exhibit in the country. Visit the brand new Seahorses Unbridled Fun and see, touch, explore together at Newport Aquarium.
I'm a seahorse and so much more.
My husband and I do our best to make the world we live in a better place. We recycle,
drive a hybrid car,
and we love to shop at our local farmers market.
So when it came to where we actually live, we knew we had to get a home loan from someone we could trust.
Someone who supports our community and cares about us, not their bottom line.
University of Kentucky Federal Credit Union. It's banking, only better.
Suff's Furniture and Oriental Rugs will liquidate 50 to 75% of our inventory as part of the estate sale of Albert Sandy Suffaletta. All of our inventory in Georgetown must be sold at great savings before this location is sold, but you can save at both the Georgetown and Nicholasville locations. Plus, every night both stores will be restocked from our warehouses until everything is sold. Our Georgetown store will be sold, but we will continue to serve you at Suff's on Nicholasville Road. Hurry for the best selection of fine furniture at Suff's estate inventory sale.
Days like this are getting harder to find. We're long on life, but short on time. When I get a chance to kick back and unwind, I live for Myrtle Beach days. Myrtle Beach days got blue in the sky, not a care in the air, ocean breeze blowing by. Just sitting on the sand, soaking up the sunshine. I live for Myrtle Beach days.
At Frontier Nursing University, our mission is to educate nurse midwives and nurse practitioners through distance education. With 75 years in Kentucky, our students and graduates have a passion for personalized care for women and families. Do you share this passion? Visit frontier.edu.
This new Rallies and Checkers strawberry smoothie is perfect for air conditioning my insides. That's heat-busting goodness for a super chill price. Introducing fruit and cream smoothies and Kool-Aid slushies. Rallies and Checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
It was my birthday a few weeks ago, but it was nothing like Kentucky's birthday. The Commonwealth is celebrating, maybe people don't know this, the 224th birthday. And there's a celebration planned featuring the best Kentucky has to offer, and it's all for a good cause.
Oh, yeah, I want to be there. WKYT's Deanne Stevens is out and about at Bale's Cocktail House in Lexington, where they're setting up for the party.
Good afternoon, guys. From Bell's, we're here in about, I don't know, an hour or so. You can come be a part of the big birthday celebration, 224 years. Happy birthday to the state of Kentucky. We have Seth and Laura with us. You guys have put together a big party for this tonight.
Yeah, we're excited, Deanne. You know, again, in honor of 224 big ones for the Commonwealth. We've got some wonderful food, great cocktails, live music, you know, all benefiting the Bluegrass Conservancy there.
Yeah, Laura, talk a bit about that and what you guys do and how tonight is fantastic for what you all are doing each and every day.
Bluegrass Conservancy protects the beautiful bluegrass farmland that really makes our Commonwealth so unique. So we are just absolutely thrilled to be celebrating Kentucky turning 224 years old. What better way than with bourbon and bluegrass farmland and wonderful food and drinks. So we just couldn't be happier about it.
You had me at bourbon, but I also like my food, people, okay? Let's be real. Jonathan Lundy with us. You are always whipping up something fantastic. What is on the menu for tonight?
Okay, first of all, we got pimento cheese grit tots.
What?
Small pimento cheese grits cut into small little rounds, fried.
That has Kentucky written all over it, doesn't it?
Fire roasted banana pepper mayonnaise and pickled green tomatoes.
Yum.
Next, we have Ale81 braised pork belly tacos with a red chili iceberg slaw. And then we have shotgun wedding beer cheese with homemade cornbread crackers.
Shotgun wedding beer cheese. I love it.
Country boy product.
I love it. I love it. All says Kentucky. And then if you move on over here, special cocktail celebrating Kentucky's birthday. Armando, what do we have?
We have the Goldenrod cocktail.
Okay.
This is going to be our house-infused pear vodka.
How do you make one of these?
It's very simple. What we're going to do is we're going to put the vodka in first. Then we add a little bit of lemon juice. And a little bit of this liqueur. It's elderflower liqueur, Saint Germain. And then just simply top it with champagne.
Put a little goldenrod in there.
Enjoy, exactly.
Right? And you're set to celebrate, too. Tonight, 6 o'clock here in just a little bit at Bell's Cocktails, downtown Lexington. A big old cheers, folks, and a happy birthday, Kentucky. You ready? Happy birthday to you. They're going to kill me. Happy birthday to Happy birthday, Kentucky. Back to you guys.
I am so jealous.
Yeah.
Oh, coming up, just how on earth do you end up with your head stuck in something like this? One man's story next, and take a look at this.
Come to P-Ranch Memorial Marathon now and get our best memorial offers early. Like this Amana Top Load Traditional Washer, $279 Super Saver. Amana Side-by-Side with Ice and Water Dispenser, $9.99 Super Saver.
Nobody beats P-Ranch.
You may be entitled to $1,500 for each call you've received from any company collecting a debt. Seems too good to be true, but it's the law.
Do you want to lose weight quickly and safely? Do you want to be healthy for a lifetime? Kim did and lost 238 pounds at Ageless Medical Weight Loss. Betty did and lost 135 pounds. The Ageless program is a medically supervised, affordable weight loss solution. Call today for a free consultation.
It's the final week of the Memorial Day sale at Sleep Outfitters. Enjoy 0% financing for 6 years and savings up to $600 on the best brands in bedding, including Visa prepaid gift cards up to $400 on select Tempur-Pedic purchases. Get this Sealy Pillow Top Queen set with gel foam on sale for just $4.99, plus a free TV. 0% for 6 years, free TVs, free gift cards, and free upgrades during the final sale days of our Memorial Day sale at Sleep Outfitters.
Tom Hammond here for Transitions Lift and Elevator, Central Kentucky's leading provider of stair lifts, wheelchair lifts, residential and commercial elevators. Our technicians inspect, maintain, and service every product we sell, and even those we didn't install. Our service team is professional, courteous, and safety-minded, making sure your investment is safe and delivering many years of use. For service, call us today or visit transitionsmobility.com. Transitions Lift and Elevator, getting you where you need to be.
Jimmy Nash Homes is known for the beautiful community of Patch and Wilkes in the Reserve at Greenbrier, an estate community in the midst of beautiful horse farms with luscious green space. And we're excited about Andover Club Villas, luxury country club living at its best, and our first ever Jessamine County exclusive community, the Oaks at Cave Springs, soon to be one of Central Kentucky's most stunning neighborhoods. All of our homes in all 4 communities feature Anderson Windows and Doors, the most trusted name in windows and doors.
Your dream home starts here with us. We have something for everyone.
So come and see us.
Come to P-Ranch Memorial Marathon now and get our best memorial offers early. Like this blended leather reclining sofa and love seat, $14.99, and the matching recliners free. 55-inch LED TV, $429.
Nobody beats P-Ranch.
Let me tell you, it has been hot the last 2 days, but still kind of beautiful. But that's all going to come to an end here pretty soon.
I know. And I can't help this, but Andrea's new, but her home is here in Central Kentucky. So your mom is watching in Nichols.
Oh my gosh, yes. And
your grandmother's watching.
Yes, my 96-year-old grandma. Hi. They're going to love you.
Chris, we had to do that. You know, we had to do that.
Yeah. Hi, Mom. Hi, Granny as well. Huh? We love Andrea. Yeah. All right. She brought the heat, though, back into Central Kentucky over the past couple of days. See, we've got someone to blame it on now. Into the mid and upper 80s into most of Central and Eastern Kentucky. 85 Jackson, London, Frankfort, Lexington, 87 degrees, that current thermometer reading. And we have been tracking some scattered thunderstorms across the entire area. That's a very strong thunderstorm that is now crossing out of parts of Whitley County into the southern side of Knox County. Folks around Barberville and over toward the Pineville area there into Bell County. You've got heavy rain, thunder, lightning heading your way. It's a slow mover. Watch out for some quick rises on creeks and streams there along the Knox and the Whitley County line. And again, that's going to continue to work its way on toward the east as we go through the next couple of hours. And additional storms will begin to flare up during that time as well. Let's get a check on traffic, see how things are looking across the region. Here's Officer Don.
Well, a little better now, Chris. We had that crash on Newtown Pike and Newtown Court. Turned out an injury collision, but they have managed to clear it. So all lanes are now open for Newtown Pike. It's going to help a lot through there. Same with the one near Winchester and Man of War. Turns out there they were directing traffic because of a dark signal. Drive times this afternoon to Bruxelles, we're doing okay. No major issues there. Looks like the Paris on Paris Pike. Police are running radar, but traffic's moving well. Now back to the studio.
Thank you, Don. A repair job gone very, very wrong, and a moose on the loose.
All right, those are some interesting stories. It's the video that you have to be talking about. It's tonight's. Take a look at this. Firefighters in China had to free a man who got his head stuck in a washing machine. The man's roommates called police after he got stuck. Firefighters say it happened while the man was trying to fix the machine's drum. That's pretty good. I mean,
at least it was a washing machine and not something else in the bathroom.
It could have been worse. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a lot worse. Crews removed the drum before it came apart and freed the man in under an hour. The South China Morning Post reports the man had only minor injuries.
All right, we continue to track breaking news coming up. We'll be having that. But first of all, a wild scene in Watertown, Massachusetts, in a neighborhood there this morning. Look at this. It's a moose on the run. Police say
breaking news.
Yeah, especially if you live there and get the moose coming at you. Police say the juvenile moose sprinted around the west end of town. This is dash cam video of the chase. Police never caught up with the animal, so far for now, he is still on the loose. Now back to tracking breaking news. Much more on the shooting in Madison County with the sheriff's deputy coming up next here on WKYT at 5.